Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuned in to the end of day pulse wave report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from pulsewavetrading.com, home of the world famous pulse wave price trigger reports. All right, so it's been a very interesting week, and tomorrow is Take Back Friday. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So taking a look, starting off with Meta, as you can see here, we have a crash alert for Friday's trading from Meta. Meta has hit a short-term top here. We've topped out in the Meta after hitting a fresh 52-week high, and now the market is looking to correct. So we have the top of the Kumo cloud here at around, let's say, we'll call this $260. All right, so that's where the initial downside target is, $260 on Meta. All right, next up we have XRP Ripple, and you'll see that this market has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, and it's also neutralized yet again. I think the market's just going to waffle around up here until it's ready to take out this pointer. And this is a unique one too, because you got the bullish pointer part here, but then you got the bearish pointer here, and the bearish pointer is the prominent one. So it's looking like this market could pretty much go either way, but for right now, the market is consolidating up here at this level. All right, next up we got Litecoin. Litecoin has a bullish trend momentum reading, and you're in a bullish market right now, and you're under the auspices of a rally alert. The upside initial target is going to be $109.84 thereabout. That's your initial upside target. Okay. All right. Next up is wheat. So wheat exploded, as you can see here, from the rally alert back here on the 17th. The market has absolutely exploded, falling short of hitting the 750 high though. That's the initial. That was the initial upside target, so it got close. The way the market's moving, it looks like it may go a lot further than that. Maybe even as high as $8.50 to $9 a bushel with this bullish trend momentum reading. This could be a serious run. What we need though is we need to take out. We need a close above $7.56. All right, we can get some consecutive closes above that, then wheat should be able to run a lot higher. Next up is soybeans. Soybeans is a little bit more interesting because now we have a bearish trend momentum reading to deal with and a crash alert. All right, and it's happening right here at the top of the Kumo cloud support. And it's looking like for now, it could be acting as a resistance. That's the real issue here. That's the real issue. And a close here would, below $14 a bushel would be very bullish. I'm sorry, very, very bearish. Can't afford that. Needs to do a lot better than that. So I don't know. This soybeans is very interesting, but this bearish trend momentum reading is going to be a problem. Looks like the soybeans have topped out. So is corn going to have a sympathy drop to match the beans? We shall see. Taking a look now at corn. Corn is also interesting. It got close to the bottom of the Kumo cloud, but not really. And now it's giving us a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading, along with the neutralized bar. So, wow, I know, turn of events in the markets. All right, so silver, unfortunately, also has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. You see a bearish trend momentum reading happening. It is still topside. It's right up. It's still above the top of the Kumo cloud. So the top of the Kumo cloud is still the current support here, all right, right now. So as long as price action can close tomorrow above $23.90, then silver um, has a little bit of bullish, lag in it. But the bearish trend momentum reading is the real issue here. That's going to be the real issue. And so because of that, the initial downside target is here. All right. It's going to be here. This initial downside target. All right. That's quite the drop. I know, but it is what it is. And that's a long way down. All right. That's coming down here to the high 22, low $23 range. All right. So that's right here. Okay, I can't stress that enough. You're talking $23.60 possibility downside target for silver here. I know. Bearish trend momentum reading. We got to do what we got to do with that. Next up is nat gas. So nat gas has the neutralize up here with that bearish trend momentum reading. So this one we can still do nothing. It's still trying to decide what it wants to do. All right, the Dow here. Now the Dow is bucking all the negativity. We hit a new 52-week high today, and the market closed in a strong position. So it still has a lot more rally left in it. All right, it's just what it is. This market is hyper bullish right now, which we expect because it was consolidated for 7 months. So that means the upside here should be quite tremendous. We're talking the possibility, I'm just going to say it. Are you ready? 40,000 Dow. Based on the measurements of the algo charts and the length of time the market consolidated, we could be looking at the potential of a 40,000 Dow within the next 7 months. Ouch. Just something to think about. Next up, the NASDAQ 100. NASDAQ 100 has temporarily topped out. All right. We've hit a short-term top in the NASDAQ. All right. I know you don't want to hear the word top, but that's what it is. We got a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading on the NASDAQ. The downside initial target is going to be, we'll call it $15.20. So that equates to roughly 15,200-ish. All right. So you're looking at least at least a possible, I'll call it 200 to 300 point drop coming more in the NASDAQ 100, maybe even a little bit more. All right. And that reason I say that because right here is, about right here. Actually, that's 14,260. So between 14,260 and 14,610. How about that? All right. That's the range for your NASDAQ 100 pullback. All right. Next up is gold. So gold is, again, doing exactly as we thought. It bumped its head at the bottom of the Kumo cloud and is now ready to head back lower. We got a bearish trend momentum reading. You had a crash alert coming into today, and the market did give you some initial downside production, and we're expecting a lot more from this as the market goes into a free fall state coming up soon. If it drops below that psychological 1900 barrier, that's it. It's a wrap. It's over for gold. All right. FYI. Next up is the S&P 500. Again, crash alert. We got a short-term top in place in the S&P 500, and the downside initial target is going to be about 4,300. Okay, 4,300-ish is the downside initial target for the S&P 500. That's a whopper of a drop. All right. Just something to think about as we are heading forward. Next up is crude oil. So crude oil now has run out of steam on this bear market rally. I know price action still a little north of the Kumo cloud, but you got a bearish trend momentum reading, and you have a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading for crude oil. And we still got this bearish pointer back here at the 52-week low to deal with, which means oil has the potential to drop more than $10 a barrel in the near term. So get ready for that. Next up is the euro. So the euro had this crash alert coming into today. We got the downside production. A lot more to go. Top of the Kumo cloud here is the target for the euro, and that's going to put it around 110-ish somewhere. We'll call it 110.88 for now. I'm sorry, 108.88. I'm sorry, 108.88 is that downside initial target. I was looking at the wrong thing. So 108.88. All right. That's where this market is headed. So down it goes, which means that the dollar must be getting ready to really power up again. All right, taking a look here at the pound sterling, we do have a bearish trend momentum reading and a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. And the top of the Kumo cloud here, 125.16 is the downside initial target, which is over 300 pips to the downside potential coming in the pound sterling. Next up is your Aussie. The Aussie has a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading with a bearish trend momentum reading. Yeah, downside initial target is going to be around 66.50-ish. All right. So prepare yourself for that. Next up is the Russell My Hustle, and it does have a bearish trend momentum reading and a crash alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. And we're looking at the potential of a pullback back down to 1840, 1841. So we got a short-term top in place in the Russell as well. All we need for these indicators is for the price action to confirm this. All right. And once the price action confirms it, it becomes official. All right. But there we go. We got the crash alert. Remember, crash alerts lead the market often between 3 to 5 days out. So these alerts can lead the market 3 to 5 days out. But a lot of times too, it happens within the next 24 hours. All right. So just FYI, when we get these alerts, that means it's imminent. All right. So watch yourself if you're bullish any of these markets that have crash alerts. All right. Copper is still neutralized. All right. So, and it's inside the Kumo cloud, so it's going nowhere until it does. Next up is the Ethereum futures, and we have a crash alert on this one for tonight into tomorrow's trading. Bearish trend momentum reading inside the Kumo cloud. Downside initial target is going to be the bottom of the Kumo cloud, so we'll call it $1,779. All right, that's the initial downside target on the pullback for the Ethereum futures. Bitcoin futures, bearish trend momentum reading. We're expecting more downside to come here as well. You had the initial crash alert here, and you got some initial downside production, but I think more production is coming. Top of the Kumo cloud at 28,000 is your initial downside target on this move. So you're looking at approximately between 15 to 1900 more points to the downside coming potential in Bitcoin. Next up is the financial sector, looking at the ETF XLF, and it's wide open. You got a bullish trend momentum rating. You got a bullish trend now. Market has crossed over from bear market to bull market, and it seems to be wide open and running with no end in sight. Next up is the energy ETF. The ticker is XLE. It's crossed over officially from bear market to bull market, and you got a bullish trend momentum reading. The initial upside target here or resistance zone is $85 a share, and then on top of that, we'll call it $87.79. And then the next target from there is going to be the $93 handle. So has some ways to go yet, but so far it's looking like it's trying to wake up and do something. Next up is the home builders, ticker XHB, and we had a crash alert coming into today. You got really nice downside production, and the downside initial target is here at $72.62 a share. So that's a potential $10 down move coming for your home builders. They've been talking about real estate apocalypse. Maybe the XHB is where we're going to start seeing some of that. U.S. dollar index has powered up. It came into today, I think, with a rally alert, or is that for tomorrow? Let me see. Okay, nope, the rally alert is for tomorrow. All right, so we got a bear market rally potential coming. We had the positive bot check back-to-back days, and now that market is starting to lift off. I think we have a big up leg coming with the back-to-back bot checks. I don't think this was it. I think the up move that's coming is going to be a bar like this possibly, because this was a bearish pointer, and the market came down here but didn't take this out. All right, this was 2740, and we only got to 2750. Okay, 2750, 2750. All right, so that's it. So it tested it, it did not take it out. So that was a successful test. And it looks like the market wants to run from here. Now, if the market fails and bumps its head at the bottom of the Kumo cloud, then that means that the market is not done yet and wants to come back down and take this out. So right now, the dollar seems to be strengthening and powering itself up. So be careful there. Next up is the Nat Gas, ticker UNG, the ETF for the Nat Gas, same as the futures, but you got a bullish trend momentum reading here. You're not neutralized or anything like that, so something to watch out for there. Bonds, ticker TLT, what did I tell you? Told you more downside was coming because of this negative bot check, even when the market reached up and touched the bottom of the Kumo cloud. And here we are. We got a crash alert for Friday's trading in your bonds, in your long bond, ticker TLT. All right, that's what that means. All right, next up we got the S&P 500, ticker SPY. This one's the one that tracks the S&P 500 futures, and you can see it also has a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. And yeah, the downside initial target here is quite the ways down, as you see. We're looking at the possibility of getting down here to around somewhere between 419 and 425 on the SPY. All right. Next up is the silver ETF, the SLV. We got a bearish trend momentum reading and a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. Not too far from the top of the Kumo cloud. So the bottom of the cloud right here is going to be the initial downside target. And that should put the market around $21.40. Next up is the NASDAQ 100 QQQ, the ETF. As you can see, it also has a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. And that'll put this market somewhere around $349 a share. That's the initial downside target. I know these downside targets are some whoppers, aren't they? All right, the crude oil ETF that follows the futures. This one has a crash alert for tomorrow's trading too. And the initial downside target is right here at around between 272 and 264. So massive downside potentials coming in a lot of these securities. Here's Nvidia. It has hit a short-term top, And we have a crash alert for Friday's trading on this one as well. Initial downside target is going to be around, let's see, we'll call this $371 a share. All right, so some huge down moving potentials. All right, Microsoft has hit a short-term top now. We have a crash alert there. Initial downside target for your Microsoft is going to be, we'll call it $331 a share. All right, next up is the real estate ETF, IYR. We looked at the home builders XHB a moment ago, and now we have a crash alert for tomorrow's trading in the IYR, which is your commercial real estate ETF. And you got a bearish trend momentum reading in a bullish environment. And the downside potential is here at $83 a share. So a lot of crash alerts this evening for Friday's trading, folks. You got a lot to take notice of. The Russell My Hustle ETF, ticker IWM, has a bearish trend momentum reading developing with a crash alert. So we hit a short-term top in the Russell as well. Downside initial target, we'll call it around $180 a share. So about a $15 pullback coming in that Russell. Looking at Google, Google has a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. The initial crash alert was back here on July 17th, and the market is giving you an amazing amount of downside production on that. So anyone who took that, any subscribers of the PulseWaves, you're 11 life right now, I would definitely trail that stop, tighten that up, lock in as much profit as you can. The market has stopped short trying to find a support here. It already hit the initial downside target. Secondary target is here at $114.92. All right. So that's the next battle. And this crash alert is coming due tomorrow for Google. More downside to go. Looking at gold, ticker GLD, just like the gold futures we looked at, you can see here we have a crash alert for Friday's trading. We still have a bearish trend momentum reading, and this market is in jeopardy of hitting a free fall status, and support is so far down, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but we're talking south of $150 a share. I know, it sounds horrible. Gold miners, GDXJ, I knew this was going to happen. We had that crash alert coming into today. We got downside production and another crash alert for tomorrow's trading. Support is not until way down here at $33.89 a share, and that is the downside initial target on this market, and it's probably going to run a lot lower than that. Next up is the Dow Jones ETF, the DIA. So just like the Dow futures we looked at, you can see we hit a new 52-week high. And this market, it has no quit in it. It's just wide open. We know the pullback is imminent at some point, but right now it's just wide open and running. Next up is Amazon. Amazon has hit a short-term top, and we have a crash alert for Friday's trading for tomorrow. Downside initial target is going to be around, we'll call it $120 a share. All right, somewhere around there. Next up is Apple. Apple has hit a short-term top after hitting a new 52-week high. We have a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. Downside initial target on this one is going to be about $179, $180, somewhere around there. Next up is it. All right, so that's it. We've done another 30 plus charts. You know how we do here, man. You know how we do. So hopefully everyone has their marching orders. You know what to do for tomorrow. Tomorrow should prove to be a very interesting day. As you know, Fridays are what we call take back Fridays. That's when, if the market's been up all week, you can expect it to be down tomorrow. Or if it's been down all week, then you can expect it to be up tomorrow. So that's why we call it Take Back Friday. All right. So if you have not taken the plunge, go to pulsewavetrading.com. Take the 14-day challenge. See how much money you can make trading alongside our signals for free for 14 days, and that's at pulsewavetrading.com. And remember, the system works if you work the system. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. Everyone have a great, wonderful weekend. See you back here on Sunday. And I'm out. Peace.